Okay, in this session we look into the next topic in the same chapter, electricity. So lesson 2 we look into resistance. Okay, we look into the resistance. So for introduction, let's recall back, you had learned before in your form 2 the term conductor and insulator, right? Okay, kamu dah belajar apa dia insulator, apa dia conductor. Okay, so a conductor is an object or type of material that allow the flow of charge. Okay, that is electric conductor. Okay, electric conductor maksudnya dia boleh mengalirkan arus elektrik. Kita ada juga heat conductor kan. Okay, that mean that material allow the flow of heat easily kan, heat conductor. Insulator lawan kepada conductor lah. Okay, dia lawan kepada conductor. Okay, and I believe that in your form 2 also you had learned about Ohm's law. Betul tak? Boleh respon seorang?
Betul.
Betul okay, so kita dah belajar Ohm's law, where you had been introduced to the equation V equals to IR. Alamak, pen saya ni tak calibrate ke apa So V equals to IR, where V is the voltage, I is the current, and R is the resistance. Okay, to define the Ohm's law or to state the Ohm's law, normally Ohm's law state that current, okay, maksudnya kita akan refer pada current first. That means we need to change or to rearrange our equation, make I as our subject. I equals to duhai pen ni pun sekejap saya test sekali. Okay, tune sikit. Okay, I equals to V divided by R. So here we can see the relationship between I, V and R. So now we can state the Ohm's law. Ohm's law state that the current, so this one I, the current, okay, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional. Okay, current, arus elektrik yang mengalir dalam sesuatu conductor, satu-satu conductor, is directly, as you can see here, as you had learned in your mathematics. Okay, bila dia berada pada satu paras yang sama, kalau kita tengok I is the numerator kan, I per 1 kan, I over 1 is equals I, right? So I equals to VR. So I is numerator, V is numerator. So we can say that they are directly proportional. Okay, directly proportional. I numerator, a resistance or R is denominator. So we call it as inversely proportional. Okay, to state the Ohm's law, we just write that we just state that current is directly proportional to the voltage applied. Cukup. Okay, so cukup kita sebut yang atas ni saja. Okay, current is directly proportional to the voltage applied in a conductor. Okay, so as you can see here, it is represent V equals to IR. You can apa kita panggil, compare with Y equals to MX. Okay, if you had learned in your mathematics, so if you have this equation, this type of equation, so we can say that Y is directly proportional to X. Okay, Y is directly proportional to X. And if we draw a graph Y against X, okay, Y against X, we will get a straight line passing through origin. Okay, so here we have V. So that's mean voltage here sebab dia berada pada Y axis. Current is I axis, so I dekat sini. And R is our what? Kalau kita compare dengan atas ni kan, R is our gradient. Okay, here is R is the gradient. Okay, R is the gradient. Okay, that is about conductor and Ohm's law. Okay, in electricity normally we have two type of conductor. Okay, two type of conductor. The first one is what we call as ohmic conductor. Okay, ohmic conductor. And another one is non-ohmic. So simple lah. One is ohmic conductor and another one is non-ohmic. So what is the difference between these two conductors? Ohmic conductor is a conductor that obey Ohm's law. So ohmic conductor ni dia patuh kepada hukum Ohms ni ataupun Ohm's law. That mean if we try to plot voltage against current for any ohmic conductor, we will get a straight line passing through origin. Kan? Bila kita buat satu eksperimen, kita pun buat 0.2, kita dapat mungkin 0.2. Buat 0.4, dia dapat 0.4. Mungkin macam itulah. So kemudian bila kita plot, kita dapat a straight line passing through this the origin. So clearly lah it show that why V is directly proportional to I. But for non-ohmic conductor, it won't obey Ohm's law, meaning that voltage and current is not directly proportional. Dia ada hubungan lain, mungkin dia quadratic, mungkin dia cubic, mungkin maybe that they are in linear increasing or linearly decreasing. So that means whenever we want to try to plot a graph V against I, we won't get the straight line passing through origin. Maybe this line. Okay. So apa masalah lain ni? Dia tidak melalui origin. So bila tak lalu origin, it is not a non-ohmic conductor. This one, it is not a straight line kan? Lagi apa lagi? Sifat dia, dia tidak melalui origin. So that means it is non-ohmic conductor. This one, okay, dia lalu origin tapi dia bukan straight line. So that means it is also a non-ohmic conductor. Okay, itu perbezaan. That is the difference between ohmic and non-ohmic conductor. Okay, so we have one experiment that will be introduced to you. So this one we will do this experiment once you get you get back to MRSM lah, to the maktab Okay, kita akan buat kemudian. So nanti boleh baca dulu lah. Aim dia kita nak kaji hubungan antara V dengan I. So our V is the responding variable, the one that we want to observe, and current is the manipulated variable, the one that we had already give the value before we start our experiment. So nanti kita tengoklah apa hubungan V dengan I. Okay, let's look into the meaning and definition of resistance. So from the equation V equals to IR, we can get the definition for resistance. So you just need to rearrange these equations, make R as our subject. R equals to V over I. Okay, V over I. So from this arrangement, we can get the definition for resistance. Okay, we can use this information to define resistance. So resistance is the opposition to current flow in electrical circuit. Okay, itu secara asas lah, secara asas ataupun secara umum. Sifat dia, okay, resistance ni dia adalah satu benda, satu physical quantity yang menghalang laluan arus, yang mengganggu laluan arus elektrik, yang boleh mengurangkan arus elektrik. Itu resistant. Okay. Resistant dalam electricity lah kan. Dekat kehidupan kita yang biasa pun ada juga resistant kan. Tapi resistant lain lah kan. Okay, resistant lain So based on the Ohm's law yang kita buat tadi, bla bla bla, so K is replaced by R has definition of resistance. So to define resistance in term of electricity, resistance is the ratio. So we use the term ratio. Kita gunakan perkataan ratio of the potential difference to the current. Betul lah kan ratio kan? So kalau kita tengok sini contohnya, what is the resistance of voltage 6 volt, 6 volt and 2 ampere current kan? So voltage divided by current. So we will get 3 ohm. So what is this value 3 represent? This 3 represent the ratio, nisbah of the potential difference to current. Kan? Maksudnya apa? Maksudnya 1 ampere. Okay, kalau kita bagi 2 ampere ni kepada 1, So setiap 1 ampere dia ada berapa volt dia dapat? So dapat 3 volt lah kan? 3 volt. So nisbah macam kamu belajar dalam matematik, okay, it is a ratio. So 3 3 6 1 1 2. So kita ambil yang atas ni. What is the value of the voltage for 1 ampere of current? Okay, that is the resistance. The ratio of the potential difference to the current. So simple je dia punya definition. You can just take from the equation R equals to V divided by I. Simple, so resistance, the unit for resistance is ohm, which is equivalent to V divide A lah kan. Kalau kita tengok pada equation ni, R equals to V divide by I, current. So what is the unit for voltage? So it is volts. Okay, unit untuk voltage adalah volt. And what is the unit for current? It is an ampere. So kita dapat V over A. That is the unit for resistance. So as you had learned in your form 2, this one you can write in indices form, where it should be equals to V. Okay, yang bawah pecahan, bawah ni atas dia akan ada kuasa negatif 1 lah. Okay, so V per ampere, or normally we just write ohm. Or the symbol used is omega lah. Okay, ni simbol dia. Contoh kita nak nyatakan, whenever we want to state the resistance in the conductor is equals to 2 ohm. So ingat, saintis ni dia malas, dia nak buat kerja dengan cepat. So dia akan tulis R, remember the symbol for resistance, which is R equals to 2 ohm. We just use the symbol. Okay, so simple. Okay, do you have any question? Ada apa nak tanya tak sebelum kita teruskan kepada perbincangan kita yang seterusnya? Okay, do you have any question? Ada soalan? Boleh respon seorang? Kalau tak ada?
Tak ada.
Tak ada. Okay, thank you.
Tak ada.
Okay, thank you. So tak ada Okay, next we look into the arrangement in electricity. Okay, you had been introduced in your form 2, yang ini pun dah diperkenalkan. We have series and parallel circuit. Ini pun boleh dikatakan quick revision. Quick revision. Cuma bila masuk SPM, IG, CSE ni, dia akan ada lagi banyak pengiraan yang lebih complicated lah. Tak adalah complicated sangat kan, senang je. Nanti kamu bila cuma nak mahirkan nak tahu beza, nak mahirkan. Okay, so the first one, whenever resistors, or it is not only resistors, it is only applicable to any electrical component lah, tak semestinya resistor, boleh juga benda lain. So when resistors are arranged in series, so here we have three identical resistor, or different lah, three different resistors are arranged in series. So ingat macam mana nak tahu series? Simple, senang saja. Series, apa sifat series? So this is series or parallel? This is series. Kenapa series? Okay, kita tengok setiap individual resistor. Okay, individual resistor, so kita pecahkan kepada dua. Kemudian kita tengok pada kaki dia kan. Okay, kaki dia, kaki kiri dan kaki kanan. So this R1, this is kaki kiri, and this one kaki kanan. And this is R2, mana kaki kiri dia? Yang ini kaki kiri, yang ini kaki kanan. So you can see that the left, apa kita panggil ni? End of the R1 and left end of the R2 is not coincide to each other. Dia tidak bertemu L dengan L ni. But for parallel, parallel senang saja kan. Contoh kalau kita ada macam ni, kita bagi susunan susah sikit kan. So kita ada R1 and this is R2. Okay. So macam mana nak tahu adakah both resistors in series or parallel? So we just look at the left end and the right end of the resistor. So individually for R1 mana kiri dia? This is left, this is right. R2 mana kiri dia? This is left, this is right. Okay. And then you just look into the left end of R1 and R2. They coincide to each other. So L bertemu, L dia bertemu. Okay, dia akan bertemu. Tak kisah dekat mana, dekat sini ke, dekat sini ke kan. Mungkin dia ada wire dekat sini contohnya. So dia bertemu. Bila bertemu and then R meet another R. Okay, dia mesti L bertemu L, R bertemu R. Okay. So L, R, R. So maksudnya they are in parallel. Okay. Test suara 1, 2, 3. Boleh dengar? Adakah line saya terputus? Tolong respon.
Dengar tu.
Okay. Sebab tadi ada macam notification dari laptop saya. Okay. Let's look into the current in series. So current, so ingat balik form 2 saya dah ingatkan. Apa sifat current? Current dia akan berpecah bila ada junction. Okay, contohnya ada junction, ada wire, conductor, macam ni kan. So current sifat dia, okay, sifat dia macam mana? Dia akan berpecah bila ada junction. So contoh, current flow from this direction, ada junction. So what will happen? It will be divided into 2 parts. Contoh kalau sini 6 ampere, so bila ada junction dia akan pecah lah based on the ratio of the resistance. Kalau resistance sama, contohnya 2 ohm, yang ini 2 ohm, so current will be divided equally, 3 ampere, 3 ampere. Tapi kalau dia lain, contohnya ini 4 ohm, so current dekat sini akan jadi sikit, mungkin contohlah 1 ampere, but the balance will be 5 dekat atas. Still 1 plus 5 equals to 6. Okay, itu sifat current. And then once they meet again, bila dia jumpa balik, apa akan berlaku? Contohnya 5 ampere, 1 ampere. Bila jumpa balik dekat junction yang baru, dia akan combine. Combine jadi berapa? Jadi 6 ampere. Okay, itu sifat current. If there is no junction such as this series arrangement, so dalam series circuit kita tidak ada junction. Okay, tak ada persimpangan. So the current will be all the same throughout the circuit lah. Okay, dia akan sama lah. That's why it can be written as IT equals to I1 equals to I2 equals to I3. Maksudnya sekiranya I yang datang ni, IT ni 6 ampere, so I1 akan sama 6 ampere. I2 akan sama 6 ampere. I3 akan sama 6 ampere. Okay, that is the meaning IT equals to I1 equals to I2 equals to I3. Current is always the same throughout the series arrangement. Okay, same current. What about V and R? Okay, for V and R, we need to sum the individual voltage of resistance. So that means for resistance, let's say R1 equals to 2, R2 equals to 2, R3 equals to 2. So the total resistance, apa maksud total resistance ni? Maksud dia from this, from this arrangement, kita ada 1, 2, 3. We can reduce this circuit into one total resistance. Itu maksud dia total resistance. Okay, maksudnya satu nilai, kita dapatkan satu nilai yang boleh mewakili ke semua resistor yang ada. Okay, sometimes we use the term effective resistance. Dia tak guna total, dia guna effective resistance, RE lah. Effective resistance. Maksudnya masih sama jumlah rintangan keseluruhan yang ada dalam part tersebut ataupun dalam junction ataupun dalam lita tersebut. So itu maksud dia. So for series circuit simple saja, sekiranya 2, 2, 2 kita tambah saja. So total dia akan jadi 6 ohm. Okay, 6 ohm. Kalau 2, 3, 4 dia akan jadi berapa? 2 plus 3, 5 tambah 4 dia akan jadi 9 ohm. So senang. Same goes to voltage. Okay, same goes to voltage. Contoh kita ada load. Okay, kemudian kita nak measure voltage dekat sini, measure voltage dekat sini, and then measure voltage dekat sini. Ingat minggu lepas dah sebut voltage ataupun kelas lepas dah sebut voltmeter always arrange in parallel. Sebab tu dia susun macam ni voltmeter. Contoh dekat sini 3 volt, dekat sini 4 volt, dekat sini 6 volt. So what is the total voltage? So total voltage maksudnya, okey, apa maksud total voltage? Maksudnya kalau kita letak voltmeter kita dan kita nak measure ketiga-tiga voltage pada satu masa yang sama, kan? So the total voltage should be equals to 3 plus 4 which is equal to 7 plus 16, 13 volt. Betul kan? 3, 4, 7, 6, 13 lah kan? Okay? So 13 volt. So that's why V total is equals to V1 equals to plus V2 plus V3. Kalau ada 4 plus lagi V4. Kalau ada 5 plus lagi V5. Kalau ada 2 saja V1 plus V2. Kalau ada 1 saja V1 je lah kan. Okay. So itu cara kita dapatkan effective resistance or total voltage in series circuit. Okay, next, before we end our session, we have parallel circuit or parallel arrangement. So parallel kita dah sebut macam mana nak kenal pasti dia. We just look into the left and right end of the load or resistor. For example, R2, R3, kita tengok kaki dia. This is left, this is left. This is right, this is right. So left bertemu left. Okay, dia bertemu dekat sini. Right bertemu right. So R2 and R3 parallel. R2 and R1, this is left, this is right. Left bertemu left, right bertemu right. So R1 also parallel. So both, all of them are in parallel arrangement. Okay. So how is the total voltage and also the current for parallel circuit? For parallel circuit, the voltage are the same voltage. Okay, dia akan sama. Maksudnya apa? Maksudnya kalau kita ada resistor, susunlah banyak-banyak ke, 5 ke 10 ke. Okay. If all of them are arranged in parallel, so when we want to try to get the value of voltage for all of them, okay, kalau kita tengok kaki voltage ni dia touch semua kan. Dia jumpa kaki kiri, jumpa kaki kiri, jumpa kaki kiri, jumpa kaki kanan, jumpa kaki kanan, jumpa kaki kanan, jumpa kaki kanan. So dia akan measure all of the voltage, total voltage. So dia akan sama dengan kalau kita measure satu persatu macam ni lah. Voltage V1, voltage V2, voltage V3. Ini individual voltage. Maksudnya kita measure one voltage for one resistor. But for this one, we want to measure the voltage for all of the resistor. So this voltage is equals to this voltage, is equals to this voltage, is equals to this voltage, and so on lah. Okay. Kalau kita ada parallel circuit. So itu voltage For current, okay. For current, since we have a junction here, so boleh nampak ada persimpangan kan? Ada persimpangan. So here we have current. This is I total. So current maksudnya current yang mula-mula sekali datang daripada bateri ke, power source ke dan sebagainya. And then it will meet a junction. So remember what happened to current once it meet junction? It will be divided. So here it will be divided into 3 lah. Okay, into 3. So let's say I1 equals to 2, I2 equals to 3, I3 equals to 4. So what is I total? So based on this information, I total, kita tahulah jumlah current yang datang sebenarnya adalah 2 plus 3 plus 4 ataupun dapat dengan 2, 3, 5, 4, 9 ampere. Maksudnya dekat sini 9. Okay, and then dia dah pecah-pecahkan kepada 3 bahagian. Tapi still total ni 2 tambah 3 tambah 4, dia sepatutnya mesti sama dengan 9. Again, once they meet again at another junction, so bila dia jumpa balik dekat junction, apa akan berlaku? Dia akan combine balik. Maksudnya apa? Current yang keluar dekat sini dia akan balik kepada satu nilai sebab ada satu je laluan. Okay? Kalau dia pecah kepada 2, dia akan pecah lah. Mungkin sini 5, mungkin sini 4. Okay? Dan seterusnya. Tapi yang pasti total akan kekal sama. Okay, for the whole circuit. Okay, function of resistor in series and in parallel. So resistor in series act a voltage divider ataupun sometimes we use the term potential divider. Okay, potential divider. So ingat whenever we have resistors or any load with resistance arranged in series, it can act as a potential divider. Maksudnya apa? Maksudnya resistor ni dia boleh pecah-pecahkan nilai potential difference. Dia boleh pecah-pecahkan nilai voltage. Sebab tu dipanggil sebagai potential divider. Contoh. Okay, sebagai contoh, we have a dry cell 9 volt and then we connected to resistor. Okay, to resistor. Let's say we know that the voltage here, V1 for R1, this is R2. Okay, let's say we know that this voltage is equals to 8 volt. Okay, 8 volt. So what does it mean? So that means the total voltage had been divided into 2. Ataupun potential difference had been divided into 2. Okay, based on the ratio lah. Depends on the ratio. Kalau resistance dia sama, dia akan memberi nilai yang sama. Contoh, 4.5, 4.5. Okay. Tapi kalau resistance dia berbeza, mungkin ada yang lebih tinggi dan lagi satu lebih rendah. But still, the total voltage must be equals to 9 volt. So, mungkin dekat sini 8. Yang dekat sini akan jadi berapa? Dia akan jadi 1 volt. Okay, V2 akan jadi 1 volt. So that's why resistors or any load arranged in series, we can call it as potential divider. Sebab dia membahagikan, dia memecahkan nilai total voltage, okay, yang ini, dia pecahkan mengikut ratio resistance yang dia ada lah. Okay. So we have special formula. Okay, special formula for potential divider. Simple saja, senang sahaja. So V1 equals to R1 bla 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 darab VT. Okay. So macam mana dapat? Contoh yang inilah. Itu ada 3 kan. Macam mana kalau ada 2? So first, apa maksud dia? Dia punya equation. Let's say we want to find V1 kan. So V1 equals to total voltage. Berapa total dia? Kalau 9 lah kan. V darab dengan pecahan. Bawah ni ada apa? Bawah ni ada total resistance. Contoh dalam circuit, in this our circuit, we have R1 plus R2. Okay. R1 plus R2. Kalau kita tengok balik pada previous note, this one. Okay. So V1, dia nak cari ni. V1 equals to, okay, nampak? VT, maksudnya V total darab dengan, ni VT dia letak kat belakang lah, tak kisah nak letak kat depan, boleh kan, darab kan, 2 darab 3 sama je, 3 darab 2 kan, sebab dia boleh letak depan atau belakang. So VT, okay, total darab dengan pecahan denominator of the fraction, okay, bawah pecahan tu ada apa? Dia ada total resistance. Okay, sebab circuit ni ada 1, 2, 3 resistor. So dia tambahkan R1 plus R2 plus R3. Macam saya tadi, saya letak R1 plus R2 sebab saya ada 2 resistance saja. Kalau ada 4, letaklah 4. Dan atas tu nak letak apa? Okay, atas kita letak resistor yang ada pada voltage yang kita nak measure. Contoh, for this example, we have V1. So that means we put R1. Kalau nak measure V2, kita letak R2. Bawah masih sama. R1 plus R2 total darab dengan total voltage. Okay. So kalau V3, contoh kalau ada, total darab R3 sebab kita nak measure V3. Bawah total resistance. R1 plus R2 plus R3 sebab ada 3 kan contohnya. So that is how we can use the equation in potential divider. So yang ni lain boleh tengoklah. This one for current. Current pun dia ada formula equation. Tapi sebenarnya tak perlu hafal pun. Okay, ini hanya untuk memudahkan kamu. But if you cannot memorize this equation, you still can use the Ohm's law. Masih boleh guna Ohm's law. Carilah V, I1, I2, R1, R2 dan sebagainya. Guna Ohm's law. Dia akan menghasilkan, memberikan kamu jawapan yang sama. Okay, dia akan bagi jawapan yang sama. Okay, so time's up. Lepas ni ada kelas lain kan? Ada kelas lain. So, yang ini kita sambung kemudian lah. Kita sampai potential divider. So, I think that's all for this section lah.